The words of Gad the Seer. In the 31st year of sovereign David in Jerusalem, which is the 38th year of the reign of David, the word of Yahweh was upon Gad the Seer, in the 2nd month near the stream of Kidron, saying, Thus says Yahweh, Go gird up your loins like a man, and stand in the middle of the stream, and cry in a great voice, Wait and hasten, wait and hasten, wait and hasten, for there is yet a vision for the son of Jesse. And during the cry, your face should turn to the east, east of the city, and spread forth your hands toward heaven. And I did according to what I had been commanded. And it came to pass when I finished calling that cry, I opened my eyes and saw a yoke of oxen, led by a donkey and a camel, coming up from the stream of Kidron, the donkey on the right side of the yoke and the camel on the left. And a great voice was going before them, like the roll of thunder, crying in a bitter voice, saying, Seer, Seer, Seer. These are 4 mixtures that confuse the people of the Master. For the impure and the pure have been mixed, and purity had been put under the hand of impurity, a mixture from Edom to rule over them, to increase power over a righteous doer, and thus to betray, to destroy set-apartness, to crown wickedness, to set up matters of impurity, in the guise of purity. And after the voice came a great shock that shook over the impurity, and blew away the donkey and the camel into the moon with the bitter wind. And the moon was opened, and looked like a bow, a semicircle, and both her heads reached the ground. And lo, the sun came out of heaven in the shape of a man, with a crown on his head, carrying over his right shoulder a lamb, rejected and despised. And on the crown on his head 3 shepherds are seen, shackled with 12 shackles. And these shackles were of gold, coated with silver. And the voice of the Lamb was heard, great and dreadful, like the voice of a lion roaring over his prey. Woe unto me, woe unto me, woe unto me! My image has been diminished, my refuge has been lost. My lot and destiny has turned me over to my spoilers, and I was defiled until evening by the touch of impurity. And it came to pass when the voice of the Lamb was over, and lo, a man dressed in linen came, with 3 branches of vine and 12 palms in his hand. And he took the lamb from the hand of the son, and put the crown on its head, and the vine branches and palms on his heart. And the man, dressed in linen, cried like a ram's horn, saying, What have you here? Impurity. And who have you here? Impurity, that you have hewed yourself a place in purity, and in my covenant that I have set with the vine branches and palms. And I have heard the Lamb's shepherd saying, There is a place for the pure, not for the impure, with me, for I am the Kodesh Elohim. And I do not want the impure, only the pure. Though both are creations of my hands, and my eyes are equally open on both. But there is an advantage to the abundance of purity over the abundance of impurity, just like the advantage of a man over a shadow. For the shadow does not come except by man, and only by the existence of the man is the shadow given to the tired and exhausted, to pure and impure. This matter is even so. For all gates of intelligence are turned around, since the death of the 8 branches of the vine, as is found in words of righteousness, in the true book. But because of the wanderings of the sheep, and their rest and divisions, intelligence is stopped up, until I do greatly in keeping favor. I saw that impurity was driven from the moon, and was given to the hand of consuming wrath, ground finely to dust, and scattered by the daily wind. And the day burns as a furnace, to transfer impurity, and to erase the transgressions. And the Lamb was put on the sun, forever and ever. And the Lamb took the peace offerings sacrifice of the pure, that was mixed with the impure, and brought it to the altar before El Shaddai, jealous Master of hosts. And I heard the sound of the song of the Lamb, saying, I shall give thanks unto you, O Yahweh, for though you were angry with me, you relented. For Yahweh is my strength and song, and he is become my Redeemer. I will sing unto Yahweh, for he is highly exalted. The horse and his rider he has thrown into the Red Sea. Rise up, intelligence. Rise up, power. Rise up, sovereignty. Rise up, majesty and esteem. Rise up to help the Master. For Elohim has saved one who had strayed, and obliterated the impurity from the earth. He fought my fight, and brought into the light my righteousness by his help. My help comes from Yahweh, who made heaven and earth. Truly, who is like unto you, O Master? Truly, who is like unto you? Esteemed in set apartness, but not in impurity. For you are great over all, raised over all. You spoke and acted. For you declared the end from the beginning, and you sealed everything with your word, and turned my heart and tormented me. For your seal is on me, my Master, and these are 3 branches of vine, and 12 palms that are on my heart. You gave me grandeur. You erased vanity to fear man, and you gave me a pure heart forever. For that I will praise you at all times, and thank you among the nations. For you have redeemed me greatly for my sovereign, and did favor to David the anointed, and his seed forever and ever. And I heard a voice crying from heaven, saying, You are my son. You are my firstborn. You are my first fruit. Have I not brought you from over Shire, to be my daily delight? But you have thrown my presence away, and dressed up the impure with the pure, and that is why all these things happen to you. And who is like unto you among all creatures on earth? For in your shadow lived all these, and by your wounds they were healed. For that, consider well that which is before you. And because you have fulfilled the words of the shepherd, all the days you have been in the sun, and you did not leave them, therefore all this honor shall occur to you. And I, Gad, son of Ahimelech, of the Jabez family of the tribe of Judah, son of Israel, was amazed by the scene, and could not control my spirit. And the one dressed in linen came down to me, and touched me, saying, Write these words, and seal with the seal of truth, for Yahweh is my name, and with my name you shall bless all the house of Israel, for they are a true seed. And you shall go for yet a little while, before you are gathered quietly to your fathers. And at the end of days you shall see with your own eyes all these, not as a vision but in fact. For in those days they shall not be called Jacob, but Israel. For in their remnant no iniquity is found, for they belong entirely to Yahweh. And these words will be unto you, a restorer of life and spirit. And this shall be the token unto you. When you enter the town, you shall find my servant David, while he is reading these words from the book of covenant. And yet for all that, when they are in the land of their enemies, I will not reject them, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am Yahweh, there, Elohim. And you shall tell him about the scene you have just seen, and when he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. And it came to pass, when I came to the house of David, the man of Elohim, I found him as the dressed in linen had said, and I told him of all my visions. Then David spoke unto the Master the words of this song, saying, I love you, O Yahweh, my strength. And to me he said, Blessed are you to the Master, that disclosed his secret to your ears. And I lifted up my voice, saying, Blessed are you to the Master, that did not remove his covenant from you. For he is true, and his word is true, and his seal is true. End of the words of Gad the Seer. Read by 31 Pearls. Thank you for listening.